Watching a similarly sized series about the Roman elves, just wow, the political mess of the Russian Empire. I mean, at least with the marshals, it jumps between marshals. Birth the year Napoleon's chief of staff was fascinating. Pretty much invented the modern job of the British chief of staff. Yep. Like, a lot of those guys were super innovative. And then the guy who was the marshal in Spain was probably actually one of the greatest military minds of all time. He's just kind of eclipsed by Napoleon. And unlike Napoleon, he never lost a battle. Huzzah! At all. Ever. I forget which one it was, though. Messena, that's the one. Swift Train coming in with a 41-month free subscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Swift Train. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. And with that, Vern is able to almost get this siege. Has this been... yeah, defensiveness. What is the defense of this fort? This is also an actual fortification. Ballord, extra defensiveness. And there we go, the fort has been taken. They were in the process of upgrading it to a star fort. Had not quite made it yet. That's a star fort in the making. That's a star fort in the making. That's a star fort in the making. Oh no, this is really bad for the Phoenix Empire because all of these forts that they've been chaining together here are probably not going to get done in time, and they were so close. Although Vern is just marching straight past it, he doesn't realise the danger. Yeah, 100 days. They're going for that siege, but they may actually get trapped behind the lines here. Oh, no they won't. They're just going to go, you know what, I have 500,000 men here. I'm just going to siege everything. Meanwhile, Anbennar is resieging this stuff. Where is Eberthil's army? Oh no, they're here with Anbennar. Fair enough. They just don't have very many. So they have a maximum manpower of 650,000. Like, we almost never see anything of Eberthil's forces. You could even get artificers and marines. You get 39 marines. I guess that would take your sailors, though, and you're currently using 1,200 sailors a month. Eberthil, have you been building your sailor buildings? Because I feel like you need to. No, not really. Some. Could definitely do with building more. The other French military genius of that period was Moreau, who was a Republican and refused Napoleon's offer as a marshalship because he didn't want to serve the Emperor. You could go look at Hohenlinden, which is a brilliant battle on the level of Napoleon's masterpiece like Austerlitz or Jena. Interesting. Oh! 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 Netcliffe lives! So Chaos has just managed to peace out Swampland? No, Amadia. And restored Netcliffe. I just posted it on the Discord, tagging Mindboy. So who's Caius just pieced out? I don't know. Wow, you have almost no manpower left. You need to be a bit careful there, buddy, in case Big Bad Vern comes knocking. Although you've taken out the majority of Swampland, and also Vern and So Ruin. Like, you've definitely done a lot of damage to Vern and Eberthil's colonial holdings. Yeah, Poet, you might want to put the the links in like general chat rather than the multiplayer one. So useful. I have another screen and I can see this stuff being posted now. Just so it's not cluttering theirs. Multiple monitors are a blessing. I mean, it's just a tablet. It's only gone down 8% in battery as well. Oh, it's amazing. How have I done without for so long? Because it's always been a problem previously where, because I have two monitors generally, and I have my stream preview on the second one, the one that's over there, which is actually there. Mirrored camera. It's a small monitor. It's a smaller one than the main screen, which is where the game is. And the preview has chat and like the health of the stream and that type of thing on it. And while I can like shift the windows over, it then hides a lot of the preview. Monitor arms and 3+ monitors are a blessing. I mean, I would like to have more. I'd like to have a dedicated chat monitor at some point. But I need to move to a new apartment before I do that. I just don't have the space here. I need to get a dedicated studio. Like, if I really keep on going with the whole streaming thing, I need to have a proper setup. I'm getting to that point. Like the Moon, thank you very much for the 21-month resubscription. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there. Happy post-birthday, Mordred. Wanted to resub to coincide, but alas. No worries. It's the thought that counts. President Muckawesome and Sir Whales, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. What did they get from piecing out Arboran? Who fought them again? Oh, it was Bjornrik, wasn't it? Oh, easy way to see. Clicking on all the things except for the thing that I want to click on. Oof. Yeah, okay, they've lost quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces to Bjornrik in that war. And small country. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chaos crashed. And I guess Adenica just had the war. I completely missed the fact that Adenica was at war with Arboran. Whoops. Yolfnar, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. Because your preview monitor is on your right when you look at chat, it actually looks like you're looking towards chat. It's actually on my left, but yes. That's why I mirrored it, because it does look weird. But now it looks like I'm actually looking at chat, so it's kind of going, okay, we're looking at chat. Because on my actual right, it's my computer tower. So, right, we were saying, Arboran, what did you lose to Adenica? Because it does look like Adenica took a big, healthy chunk from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces. And 1 to Encardia. I was going to say, which allows them to go around the mountain, but I think that was already true. So what were you just up to, Helfnar? What were you playing? Was Ismaria in that war? I don't think they were. Easy way to find out. If we go to you, and then check over here. Vern. Lorent. Small country, Adenica, Nusha, and Cardia. So no. Ismaria was not in the war against Arboran, though would probably want to be. Likewise the Anbennar. Although there are no other centres of trade for the Dame's Head, which they don't already control. They would have to go after Small Country for that. And now that Small Country has taken a few more, how is their control of this looking? They're up to 50%. They're starting to outdo Anbennar. Although again, Anbennar is not actually collecting here. I wonder, would they make more money if they push the money forwards? I think they probably would. It would make Small Country richer. Because you'd basically be feeding an extra like 100 ducats into that trade node. But then you'd also be taking a share of the 132 that's already there. Which right now you're not. So yes, I do think they would make quite a lot more money if they pushed it into the Dame's Head and collected. Plus they would have all of the modifiers that they have in their home node, if they made Dame's Head the home node. which would increase their share of the trade there too. I guess they don't want to make small country richer. Maybe. They could make themselves a lot richer though. Like, we're talking probably 100 ducats a month, if not more. Probably more. Bit of Byzantium shenanigans, just retook all of Greece and the Aegean. Nice. 100 more ducats for Vern, you say? Yeah, exactly. That's probably another, like, 500,000 troops for Vern. Frickin' Vern, man. Like, they're 800 under their force limit. Think of how many more regiments they could recruit for that. And I am fairly confident that Anbennar would outcompete Small Country up there. Particularly because Small Country has a history of having a particularly bad navy, whereas Anbennar doesn't. Anbennar actually is building light ships to protect trade. Although Small Country is... oh no, still the same. Because Anbennar right now is gaining... oh jeez. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% transfer bonuses. Which they are not currently gaining from this. So that 76% control would go up to 140, so it's basically doubling their trade power. Or their trade modifier, not the trade power. Which would get them to 1,600 or so. Which would still be just under 50%. But that's a very healthy amount, and then they could be feeding about 120 ducats from this forwards. In fact, more if Vern gave them trade transfer rights. They could send 90% of the money from here. So that's another 130 ducats, which they then convert by an additional... 77%. It's going to be well over 100 ducats, actually. It's going to be more like 150, if not 160. They'd probably hit about 300 ducats a month in trade income if they did that. I think. I'm definitely no maths genius. I don't know for sure, but that's my estimation. But then again, Small Country would also become increasingly wealthy. To a similar order of magnitude, though not as much. Because a lot of the trade control which Small Country currently has would actually go to Anbennar at that point. Because Small Country is already extracting as much as they can from that area. And then it becomes a fight of small ships. Who can bring in the most light ships to take as much control off the other person as possible? And it would require pretty much mutual embargoes. Are you guys rivals? Not that that matters. Yeah, you are. So you should already be embargoing. How much debt are they still in? That's an excellent question. Oh, just 40,000. 72 loans. Nothing really. Surely the Small Country would have the smallest ships. Well, the problem the Small Country would have is they suck at sailing. 45,000 sailors. No, 111. Yeah, Anbennar would win that naval game every time. 131 naval force limit against 93. And I'm guessing that Anbennar haven't even built shipyards. No. Oh no, they have. My bad. They have actually been building shipyards. In that case, Small Country may not have. No, they haven't. So small country could build quite a lot more, but then you become in a bit of a naval race between the two. Which race has the best naval bonuses? That is actually a really interesting question. I don't know. It's definitely not the gnomes. The gnomes... Actually, the gnomes get the light ship modifier. Who's this? Small country, halflings. They've changed to a human military, which just gives morale. At Danica we know are orcs. You got a dance champion. Nice. Orcish military. No naval modifiers. Plus or negative. Gibert with the gnomish military. Heavy ship combat ability plus 10. Galley minus 20. Oh, it's... gnomish hierarchy that gets the baked in light ship stuff. It's not the race. But they do get heavy combat. Heavy ship combat. Elves. Light ship combat plus 10. Naval attrition minus 25. Sailor recovery speed minus 25% sucks. They wouldn't be able to do very many missions, which combined with that light ship combat ability is very unfortunate. Dwarves. The dwarves have the worst ships. Wow. Sailor recovery speed minus 25. Light ship combat minus 10. Galley combat minus 20. Transport combat minus 10. How are the dwarves so bad? Gnomish artificers do indeed have a special ship, yes. Who else is there? Orcs? Goblins? Spider Wretch, I'm guessing, are goblins. Galley combat minus 20. So it's only the galleys that suck for you. So right now it's looking like humans or elves. I'd actually say humans with the just straight up morale. I doubt that there are any hobgoblins left. What about orcs? Are there any orcs left? Oh, we already saw orcs because Adenica uses them, of course. Gnolls. Vern. What about gnolls? Yearly naval tradition decay plus 1. Minus 10 ship durability. I would say the gnolls are up there with the dwarves as having the worst navy. Kobolds? I doubt that we can see the kobold military. Haramari? They're just human though, aren't they? Denarage? Haramari. Morale of Navy is minus 10. So it's not Haramari either. Infantry combat ability plus 10, shock damage plus 20, land fire damage minus 10, movement speed plus 10. You're just human, aren't you? Yes. So I would say, honestly, it's the humans have the best navies. Ruinborn are just elves. Oh no, they're not. They're different. National Sailor modifier minus 10, morale of navies minus 10, so it's not them. Kobolds is minus 20 combat, galley combat. So the worst are definitely dwarves followed by gnolls. The best are probably humans followed by elves. Oh, we got a huge player war again. Guys! Small country fights Oslam! Oh! Oslamer Bjarnriki Imperialist War take capital Konunghaven, which I'm guessing is Oslam-as-Dir along with Soldier Sat going after Bjarnrik and Lorent and the small country. Interesting. I had not expected that. So Soldier Sat went north instead of south. And it's Oslam-as-Dir, the slumbering dwarves, who have decided, you know what? I want more. And they are about to get attacked. We've got artificers and cavalry. That's the siege. The dwarves look like they're getting... Well, actually they're doing a lot of damage, but hopefully they have some reinforcements nearby. During the fire phase is roughly even. During the shock phase, though, this is like a Denica levels of demolition. Like 4,000 to 200 is a lot. 103 discipline versus 107. 5.3 morale versus 7.5. So the problem the dwarves are going to have is just morale. They're not going to be able to stick in these fights for very long. And it does look like they're about to be sent packing in the first battle. They do have a 3-star general. Imagine Longbeard, 633. They need a shock general, really. And the sprinters are sprinting away. I'm actually really surprised by this. I had not expected that at all. And Adenika's also going after Bjarnrik. Here we go. Oh, Adenika's allied to Oslam. Oh man, that's going to be so much shock damage against Bjarnrik. Bjarnrik's in trouble here. Like, Lorent's going to be a good ally, but Lorent is kind of spent after the war against Vern. Marhold and Esmaria, Avdol Kanzat kind of sitting on the sidelines going, Alright, we've got another fight. This is 105 discipline against 107. 8 morale for Soldier Sat against 7.6. Soldier Sat with loads of additional troops nearby that they can send into the fight. And really what they want to be doing, I think, is getting the dwarves in the front line. So the dwarves are doing and taking the damage. And then Soldier Sat, because they can take 100% less morale damage if they're in reserve, they just sit there and provide the morale. Adenika's on the dwarven side, yes. So we got the Orcish cavalry fighting alongside the dwarven cavalry. And I should zoom in a bit more so we can actually see the rate of the casualties. Because Bjarnrik is definitely getting the worst of this against Soldier Sat. But bear in mind, this is the militaristic Lake Federation, so it's not that surprise. During the fire phase, again his shock phase, Bjarnrik's just getting torn apart in the shock. Why? Oh, because they have the dwarves again. The dwarven cavalry has arrived. That's why they're doing so much more damage during the shock phase. So even though it's only half a front line, you can see the impact they're having. And having that extra morale provided by the Soldier Sat reserves, that's a really powerful combo. And there we go. Victory is theirs. Bjarnrik is trying to send in some reinforcements. They're trying to go after the reinforcements here. That is going to be a battle in the woods, though. Soldier Sat did have a general. That's a -2. If the dwarves can come in and give them a little bit of a hand. Cavalry dwarves need to cut a deal with hire the cannon dwarves. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that combo? That would be ridiculous, because then you'd have the shock phase, which would be the cavalry, and you'd have the fire phase from the artillery. Ooh. This is Centaur dwarves, but in reverse, yeah. And Lorent's already been sent packing by Adenika. Of course, Lorent being wannabe Adenika. Everything that Lorent should do, Adenika does better. It's annoying. And we are about to have another fight here. Fort has just fallen. It is going to be in the woods. And traditionally, cavalry in the woods is a bad idea. Adenica, the Rebellion State, coming in. We've got Adenica Artillery, the Ancardian Artillery supporting the Adenica Cavalry. That's a perfect balance. Except I'm not seeing the casualties. There we go. This is the shock phase. Ooh, nope, the artillery's in the front row. Run away! You've reinforced this really poorly. Torsion's still fresh off of the battles. Unfortunately, yeah, Adenica, you just have no artillery in the back line now. Because you squandered them. During the shock phase, you still do an incredible amount of damage, don't get me wrong. But you need the artillery in the back line to shield you during the fire phase. That was really unfortunate because getting into this battle, that was the perfect setup. Did Oslamov dare declare a soldier sat? I think soldier sat wants to go north instead. They're just backing a loyal ally. No, Oslamaz did declare this. Definitely did. Oslamaz dear, Bjorn Ricky, they're the war leader. And Konunga Haven, I'm guessing, is Bjornrik's capital. How do I see that? No. Konunga Haven, that was indeed a war declared by Oslamazdir. And we have another Lorentish Adenica fight going on. Lorent suffering so many casualties. The amount of damage that these cavalry forces can do when they get going is absurd. But the question will be whether they have the manpower to maintain this. Especially in the light of multiple uprisings. And yeah, Ancardia just coming in with 2 solid stacks of artillery, and that's all they're contributing. They just need to be really careful that that artillery arrives at the same time as the cavalry, like in the same day. The same tick. Lorent going for the cavalry again. That's a 16 stack. Force marching in. We do have reinforcements coming, but they need to force march, otherwise this 16k is just going to stack wipe by the 97. Although Lorent's coming in with very little morale. 8 morale on Adenica. And we do have 2 solid stacks coming in. 2,000 damage done during the shock phase. And Lorent's front line is just dead. They didn't shift consolidate before this. 7,000 men dead per tick. And there we go, Ancardia's artillery has arrived, so now they have the artillery shields. 7,000 damage, this is 10 to 1. They are doing literal 10 to 1 kill deaths during shock. During fire it's a bit closer. 7 to 1. Oh, you probably shouldn't have hesitated there with that 21k. I'd be a bit nervous. Ancardia's back line's getting more and more solid. You're getting artillery in the front line. You're not reinforcing this very well. Adenica? You should know better. During these fire phases, Adenika's now starting to lose. But my gosh, during the shock phase. Ow! And now Lorent's got full artillery in the front row. This is going to be very, very painful because they're not retreating in time. And there we go, Adenica victory. They bailed out the 19k, although there's a 200k fight going on over here, and Adenica does not seem to have responded to the threat. This is now a 10 to 1. This, oh nope, they've responded. 50k have come in. Adenica, Ancardia is supporting the back line. Adenika's retreating. I think Adenica actually got stacked there. Ancardia got out just in time. And then soldiers sat fighting against Bjornrik up here. I want to see how many casualties have been inflicted already. I mean, this fight's been going on for like, what, a year? Yeah, less than a year. And there's already been 1.5 million losses. That's absolutely mental. Like, these guys have a lot more troops. But these guys just dish out so much damage. Although, actually, this kill-death ratio, that's not very good. They're going to need to do better than that to win this one. This is soldier set purely, so we need to see it from their perspective. Otherwise we don't get the floating numbers.